Good afternoon, church family. This is your pastor, Joseph Wamack, talking to you from our backyard. You can see I have a nice background of trees behind me while my lovely wife, Vonnie, is videoing. And I just wanted to give you a Sabbath message because as we come to the second week of not being able to be together, of having to stay in our homes, of dealing with the threat and the danger and the fear of this virus, I just wanted to come and share with you a Bible story on our Facebook page, or maybe somewhere else if we can put it somewhere else. I was thinking about the story of Elisha and the contrast in his life, because he went from defeating 850 prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel to being chased out of there by Ahab and Jezebel, and then he felt so all alone that he fled to a cave. Now, why would this man, who at one point had defeated 850 prophets of Baal by himself with God's help, then flee to a cave and in that cave say, "I'm all alone. There's nobody here with me. God seems to have rejected me." So he was in what we would say a cave of failure. He felt misplaced. He felt forgotten. He felt all alone. And maybe that's the way some of you feel at this time. Like God has forgotten you, like you are all alone, like no one cares, like God has left. But it's interesting in the next part of the story how God comes to Elijah and he asks him a very important question, and he says, "Elisha, what are you doing here?" And Elijah says, "Well, I'm all alone. There's nobody here but me." And God wanted to remind him about who was in charge of his life. So God says, "Go out and stand at the front of the cave." Elisha goes out, and first there is an earthquake. Or is it a wind? I don't remember. There's a wind, there's earthquake, there's fire. God is in none of those things. And then as Elisha stands in the silence, God speaks to him in what one version calls a still small voice. And it's in that voice that's very still and very quiet that Elisha discovers that God is found sometimes in the small moments. God is found sometimes in the moments of aloneness. God is found oftentimes in the cave. So it's when we go out to be alone, when we feel like we are a failure, like we feel like there is no one around, we feel like we are in a dark, empty cave all by ourselves, that God shows up. So if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling scared, if you're feeling like there's no one around, if you're feeling misplaced and forgotten, consider the story of Elijah, 1 Kings chapter 19, of someone who had served God, knew that God was real, and yet questioned his faith, questioned his walk with God. So don't lose heart, church. We'll be together soon, and remember that God loves you whether you're on the mountaintop or whether you are in the cave. So God bless you. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you soon.